and welcome to Dependasplaining, the podcast. Here we are to talk to you some military true crime and military topics. I am Jen.
I'm Veronica.
Hi, Veronica.
Hi, Jen. And hello to our listeners. Thank you for joining us on another episode.
Yes.
You know who's also joining us?
Who?
My children's joyous laughter from the living room. That's really annoying me. So when you edit this, Jen, you will hear them.
No, and all the laughter. I love it.
Yes, I love it too, until I don't.
Yeah. How dare you be happy right now? Come on, children. Oh, I heard that one.
They're super loud. I'm telling you. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's like there's really nowhere to escape in this apartment, and I could send Kyle down to the beach, but then that would give me so much more work. Come back up.
I know, right?
Sandy, and they want to shower, and they want snacks. Ugh. And then I'm jealous because I wish I would have gone down to the beach.
Right.
Yeah. But I have a lot to do today.
Yeah. Me too. Errands. Gotta run the errands today, and it's just...
You do?
Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to do... And by errands, I mean just grocery shopping. So I did that yesterday. But I have the house to clean today, so I need to do that. It's just a daily chore, you know?
Yeah. Daily life.
Yeah.
Of a housewife.
Yeah, of a housewife, yeah. I want a house husband.
One day.
Anyways, Jen, let's tell our listeners where they can reach us in case they have any stories they want to share with us, or to leave us a comment, and to rate us and subscribe on their favorite listening platforms. Tell them, Jen.
Yes, you can do all that wonderful stuff by emailing us at dependasplaining@gmail.com, or finding us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Go to your favorite listening platform, aka Apple Podcasts, because that's where we see most of you are listening to us at. And rate and subscribe, because we love your ratings and subscribers. And it just helps us, you know.
Yes.
Math, algorithm, you know. That shit. It works.
And tell your friends. Tell your friends about us. Even if they're not military related, if they like true crime, half of this is true crime, so
exactly.
Listen to that half, and then make of it what you will with the other half.
Exactly.
We're all learning.
Listen in. Yes, we're here. My brother even told me before, he's like, I'm not associated with the military besides having a sister that's married into it, but I enjoy listening to you guys talk about what military life is and knowing what you guys go through. And I was like, oh, thank you, brother.
We're fucking insightful, I think. And I think you should be listening to us.
Yes, you should. Because we're funny and great.
I think so.
And you guys should listen.
I think
right
so.
Now.
Right
Share.
now.
Tell your friends that they should be listening. Grab their phones. Plug us into their favorite, platform, and just start shouting it out to the world, okay? Get your speaker, bring it down to the beach where everyone can hear us. And because, they'll all be grateful that you're blasting a podcast while they're trying to relax on the beach, because who doesn't want to listen to murder?
Yeah, fucking blast us in your car while you're driving through a parking garage.
There you go.
And the squealing of your wheels on the concrete will get everyone's attention to turn around, only to hear our lovely voices coming across those speakers.
Yeah.
And, that's everyone's favorite, right? When everyone's bumping music through the parking garage, why not have it be a podcast? Yeah, jam your head to it as well.
Or you could be like the guy yesterday when I was walking out of the BX with my children, had his window rolled down, and was bumping some very
erotica.
Explicit... Yeah, it's pretty much. It pretty much was talking about
audiobook erotica.
Keep sucking my dick until it, and all the lovely words. And I was like, oh, okay, this is what's happening right now.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
I'm assuming it was a rap
what
song.
I want to listen to in the parking lot.
Yeah, was it rap? It wasn't like country, was it? Okay.
No, because
can you imagine?
They're nicer than
a country
that.
song? A country song
that
like
would be
that?
interesting. That would be interesting to hear.
Yeah. Yes.
That's something that's going to wake me up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Oh,
some
what if that was
twangy,
a country song?
yeah, some twangy music, and it's just these lyrics of sexual nature and drug use.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Slapping bitches.
Slapping bitches.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So instead of being like that guy and bumping a, very interesting choice of music, just bump Dependasplaining. We're great. And everyone will appreciate the lack of bass.
It says more about your character. I don't understand why people feel the need to blast music out of their car. Like, you want everyone to know that you like Nickelback. I get it. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I like Nickelback too, but I listen to them like the rest of the world. In my room and in shame. And we don't talk about it until now. This is where I air out my dirty laundry. No, but seriously, like, I don't understand it. I'm the one that gets lost and has to turn down the volume and tell everyone in the car to shut up because I'm fucking lost in the car.
Yes. I'm like, okay, this might be the turn. I need to turn my volume down so I can actually read the sign.
Yes.
Because
I will
everything's
press
really loud.
my chest up against the steering wheel.
Yeah. Is that
Slow
it?
down. Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah. Marines of the world need to put out street signs for everybody.
Yes, please. Red signs, huge red signs everywhere would be great. So we can actually see the thing before we actually get there. Would be nice.
Yes. Yeah. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please refer to what was like 3 episodes ago, 2-3 episodes ago, where I talk about going on a marine camp installation, and their signs are bright red with yellow lettering, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you, Marines.
Yeah,
thank you for your service.
We appreciate you. You need to teach the rest of the U.S. military of how to make signs.
And yes, that are readable from 3 feet.
Exactly.
Please. Okay, Jen.
Woo.
So I don't have much going on other than what we talked about for 20 minutes before we started recording. And which was just Dependasplaining. These are the sessions we have beforehand. It's Dependasplaining before we actually record.
Maybe one of these days, if you guys are interested, we can record our Dependasplaining.
Yes.
And if you guys want to join in, let us know at dependasplaining@gmail.com.
Yes. One time we did get pretty intoxicated and we recorded, and I think it was just gibberish. I was like, this is not to be aired ever. Oh
my god, that's hilarious. Was that the one when we were popping beer cans into the mics and then yours overflowed?
No, that was another time. No, I think this one we had been drinking before we started recording, and we were drinking wine, and then one of us had the great idea to bring up the bottle of wine into the podcast room. Yeah. That will never be aired because I'm pretty sure really nothing came out of my mouth but grunts and nothing, just nothing. Much like how nothing comes out of my mouth now, but a lot comes out, but nothing of substance.
Yes, it is. It's entertainment. You just flow of entertainment, and that's what we need here, obviously. That's what keeps getting the people to come back. It's you, Veronica.
Oh, well, thank you.
You and your mouth.
Me and my mouth. Pleasing everyone around here. That's what I do with my mouth.
You're spreading the word with your lips.
With my lips.
Thank you.
Stretch my lips open for your pleasure. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Okay, Jen. Enough about me using my mouth. I'm going to use it for something else. I'm going to tell you a story. I have a story for you. I can't wait for your
story.
Let's get serious now, okay?
Okay.
It's very sad. Trigger warning. There is some sexual abuse here. And, of course, murder, as always. So, for those of you that have experienced sexually related incidents that don't wish to be triggered, perhaps don't listen. So I got my information, most of my information off of Wikipedia, internationalcrimedatabase.org, and editioncnn.com. And today I will be talking about the Al-Janabi massacre. Abir Qasim Hamza Al-Janabi was born August 19, 1991. She was born just months after the Gulf War, and she lived with her family in Iraq in a modest one-bedroom house with her mother. I'm really sorry if I can't pronounce these. Fakriya Taha Muhassin, she was 34, and her father Qasim Hamza Rahim, 45. Her siblings, 6-year-old sister Hadil, 9-year-old brother Ahmed, and 11-year-old brother Mohammed. The mother was a stay-at-home mom, and her father Qasim worked as a guard in a date orchard. He loved his family fiercely, and he worked incredibly hard in hopes that one day he could provide them with a better life and that his children could eventually attend college. Abir had dreams of living in the city of Baghdad, but because they lived in such a hostile territory, her parents were concerned for her safety and did not let her attend school. Like I mentioned before, Abir was born just months after the Gulf War had ended, and now with the invasion of U.S. troops as of 2003, at the time, it was just not safe for a young girl to be out of the house, and school was part of that. Abir's home was actually located just 200 meters from a 6-man traffic checkpoint. This was a U.S. Army checkpoint. On several occasions, the soldiers would come into their home for like a routine search, and during said search, one of the soldiers had reached out and stroked Abir's cheek, which didn't sit well with her, and it left her terrified, knowing that it wasn't just a gentle gesture from a caring soldier. So oftentimes the family would notice the servicemen at the checkpoint would be watching Abir as she just went on about her daily chores or just tending to the garden outside, because they lived so close to the checkpoint. And there was tons of American troops everywhere. So they were just kind of used to seeing these people. So the neighbors would actually notify Qasim, Abir's father, that they too had noticed how they watched her. And Qasim kind of brushed it off, thinking that it wasn't a problem because she was just such a young girl, that they wouldn't be interested in her. Abir did unfortunately endure sexual harassment from the soldiers. So actually Abir's mother had told her relatives that they had caught the soldiers. They had caught the soldiers looking at Abir, and when she turned around to be what are you looking at, they would give her a thumbs up and say, oh, very, very good. And then during these times when the family did feel like she was getting a lot of unwanted attention, they would send her to spend the night at an uncle's house where she would be away from this checkpoint. Like I said, the checkpoint was pretty close to their house. The checkpoint was usually manned by lower ranking, younger soldiers, I should say. And they were left pretty much unsupervised the entire time. They should have been checked on once a week, but nobody was checking in on them. They were just left alone. They lacked leadership in this position, and like I said, left alone to their own devices. So on March 12, 2006, soldiers at the checkpoint from the 502nd Infantry Regiment consisted of Stephen Green, Specialist Paul Cortez, Specialist James Barker, and Private First Class Jesse Spielman, and Private First Class Brian Howard. And they were hanging out, playing cards, and drinking whiskey. Now, I thought that Iraq was a dry country, but apparently it's fairly easy to get your hands on alcohol and drugs. You just have to pay the right person for it, and then they'll just bring it to you.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And so being that they were left unsupervised so much, and they never expected anyone to come in and check on them, this made it super easy for them to consume alcohol and misbehave because they were bored. They had no one to tell them they were doing wrong, and they just didn't care either. So they began to plan some fun for themselves. Stephen Green had suggested they should just start killing Iraqi civilians just for fun because they were bored.
What?
Yeah. Now, Stephen Green was 19 at the time. He was a high school dropout who, after earning his GED, joined the army, feeling that he needed to do his part in protecting, and I say that ever so lightly, protecting our country. He was known amongst his peers for being racist, and he would walk around yelling racial slurs, pretty much saying that all brown people needed to die.
Wow.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Wow. What a very high class person. That's
I know, right? Yeah. And so he proudly shared to anyone that would listen his hatred towards the Iraqi people, especially after he witnessed a previously friendly Iraqi man approach a U.S. occupied vehicle at the traffic checkpoint, and he opened fire, killing the occupants of the vehicle. This really fueled Green's anger and only helped grow his hatred towards the Iraqi people. So, already in hostile territory, it wasn't good. So, as a product of his upbringing and his environment, he was forced to see a mental health provider. Rightfully so, right? So, during this visit, he was asked what his hobbies were. Guess what he answered? He said, killing Iraqi.
Oh my God.
Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did he hate Iraqis? He said 11. Yes. Course. He also said, they asked him if he was sleeping well, and he said that he wasn't sleeping well, but the times he did manage to sleep, he would dream about killing Iraqis.
Wow. True psychopath right there.
Yes, Jen.
And they kept him out. Come on.
Yes, Jen. You just wait. He also admits to having killed a puppy for fun that he had found, and he just killed it for fun.
Okay, did he wet his bed too? Because, hello.
Oh my gosh. Well.
Psychopath.
So, you know what his treatment was for all of this? Because he did go see mental health? Sleeping pills, which was apparently a very common solution to, cure being a racist puppy killer.
Yeah, quote unquote cure. Yeah. Here you go. Yes. You're not sleeping well. That's the only thing I got out of your entire thing is you're not sleeping well and you need to sleep. Maybe it'll all go away once you sleep.
Once you sleep. Yeah. So here you go on your merry way. I'm going to give you these sleeping pills and send you into combat again.
Yeah.
And also they gave him a rating of not harmful to others.
Oh,
even
good.
Though he disclosed everything he just did.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
What?
So, after Green suggested that they kill Iraqi civilians, Specialist Cortez, who was in charge at the time, because he was the highest ranking soldier there, he kind of laughed him off and told him not to do that because he didn't want to get in trouble for their actions. So he was like, no, it's a bad idea. So now Specialist James Barker says he has a better idea. He says that since they've been there twice in Iraq, I'm assuming is what he meant, and have all most likely already killed an Iraqi person, that it was time to do something different. And he suggested that they rape an Iraqi girl. He didn't say rape.
Wow.
He said fuck, but who's gonna be willing in such a territory?
No.
So yeah. And then Cortez, who was totally against it at first, he laughed it off. He's like, I don't want to get in trouble. All of a sudden, he's interested. He's like, okay, what's the plan? So they went about their day and planning on how to go about finding a girl and having sex with her. And Barker already had a plan, though. He already had a target, and Abir, who was 14, let's not forget, was his target because, she was so close and they could see her from the checkpoint, and they had already harassed her.
Yeah.
So he knew, Barker, because they had done searches on the house, they knew that the family kept an AK-47, which I guess is a pretty common thing in Iraqi homes, that they're allowed to have an AK-47 as well as like 2 loaded magazines. I don't know how that works, but apparently that's a thing. But since, like I said, they had already searched the home, and Barker knew where the weapon was. So he had already hatched out a plan in his mind of how they can go about this. Now, Cortez, although having entertained the idea, thought that it was all crazy talk and they wouldn't actually go through with it. Again, he was like, no, don't do it. And then he's like, wait, I want to hear about it. No, let's not do it. So they dropped the subject. And when their duties were all done and they were just hanging out, playing cards and drinking, they were all a bit drunk when all of a sudden Cortez stands up and he said, fuck this. If we're going to do this, I'm going to fuck the bitch first. And this was a quote.
Oh my God.
This was a quote. Yeah. So they planned out their day, and they were assigning duties to make it look like they would be a normal day, you know, on patrol. And they left Private First Class Brian Howard at the checkpoint. He would be the one manning the radio in case someone did show up at the checkpoint. And this would give him enough time to like let them know that someone was coming, and it would give him enough time to get back. He was well aware of what was about to happen and did nothing to stop them. He knew.
Of course not.
He heard them hatching out this plan. He knew, and he didn't do anything. He just was like, "Okay, I'll take watch." Okay. So now Private First Class Jesse Spielman, who had not been part of the conversation or the decision to rape the young girl, he doesn't even bat an eye when he's invited to tag along. They're like, "Hey, we're going to go do this and this. Do you want to come?" And he's like, "Sure." Like they were just inviting him out, you know, for dinner. So now they all decide to conceal their identity. And they like grab t-shirts and place them over their face. They walk the 200 something meters to the house. Outside, they find the father, Kasim, and the young daughter, the 6-year-old Hadil. They force them back inside the house, where they also find 14-year-old Abir and her mother, Fakhriya. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And they force them all into a room. They find and secure the AK-47 that the family kept in their home. Cortez then grabs Abir and takes her out of the room. Green watched over the family. Barker pinned Abir down, while Cortez was the first to rape her. The family could hear Abir's cries from the room, and they tried to push past Green in desperation to protect their daughter and to get to her. Green pulled out his gun and proceeded to shoot and kill the family. So the mother, the 6-year-old daughter, and the father. In the other room, Barker had begun taking his turn in raping Abir. So Cortez went first, then Barker. Green then comes in, shoves Barker out of the way, and he also begins to rape Abir. And he places a pillow over her head and shoots her in the head. They dumped kerosene on her body and set her on fire. They then packed up and ran back to the checkpoint. And they left to celebrate their crimes with a meal of chicken wings while they burned, you know, the bloodied clothes they had worn, and they had thrown the AK-47 in the river and went on to discuss their crimes. Like, it was just a fun day at the bar.
Wow.
Yep. So the smoke from the home alerted neighbors who were among the first to discover the scene. One recalled they found Abir with her dress shoved up to her chest, and one of her legs was just kind of bent up to the side, like, and she looked so that she was a beautiful little girl. So they ran to tell Abu Firas Janabi, which is Abir's uncle. They ran to tell them that the farmhouse was on fire and that the dead bodies could be seen inside the burning building. Janabi and his wife rushed to the farmhouse and doused some of the flames to get inside. Upon witnessing the scene inside, Janabi went to a checkpoint guarded by Iraqi army soldiers to report the crime. Abir's 9 and 11-year-old younger brothers were not in the house. They were actually in school. And they returned from school that afternoon to find smoke billowing from the windows after going to their uncle's home. They returned to the house only to be traumatized, finding their father shot in the head and mother shot in the chest, 6-year-old sister Hadil shot in the face, and 14-year-old sister Abir's remains that had been burned. So when Iraqi troops became aware of the fire in the home, they called U.S. troops for help. One of the soldiers who responded was Sergeant, it's spelled Yribe. Uribe, maybe? I'm going to call him that. So Uribe then goes to the checkpoint and tells the guys what he had just seen. And Green nonchalantly is like, yeah, I did it. And Sergeant Uribe doesn't believe it. And he's like, fuck off, man. Like, this isn't true. But Green seems proud of what he claims to have done. And he also claimed to have done it all on his own. He provided Uribe with like all the details to prove that he had done it. So he wanted to take claim on this action all alone.
Wow.
Green's plan, in case they got caught, was actually to take the blame 100%. Like, that was his plan. That's what he had told everybody. If we get caught, blame it on me. I'll take the blame. Like, it would glorify him or something. But Uribe still didn't believe him, or he didn't want to believe him. And he did nothing about it. He did nothing. He didn't tell anybody else. So, yeah. He did nothing about it other than tell him that he needed to leave the army. He's like, you need to get out or I'm going to find a way to kick you out. Instead of being like, I'm going to go and tell people what you just did. So then Green again then goes to mental health and he doesn't disclose the crimes that he just committed. But he, like his first visit, does disclose a strong desire to kill the Iraqi people. So this gets him an immediate diagnosis of being a sociopath, finally. And even though he did have like a low rate for harming others. So he just killed 4 people, but he had been diagnosed with a very low rating of harming or not likely harming other people. Anyways, so he is discharged from the army in May of 2006. He is honorably discharged, Jen.
Disgusting.
But nobody knows still of these crimes.
Yeah.
So it happened in March, and this is in May when he gets discharged.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And so Uribe, who still hasn't done anything to take care of this murderer, he tells another soldier about it. He tells Private First Class Justin Watt. He's a newly assigned soldier to Bravo Company and is now being informed of the gruesome murder Stephen Green has committed. So Uribe tells him all of this, but then Watt talks to another soldier and he learns about, or he talks to others and he learns about the gang rape as well. So not just the murder, now he knows that they also raped the little girl.
Wow.
He can't live with this info. Like it's just too much for him to take, and it's weighing heavy on his chest. So Watt becomes a whistleblower and he tries to go to CID but is shut down by their commanding officer. The commanding officer attempted to charge Watt with false report, claiming that Watt was not there and there was absolutely no evidence to prove that this is what happened.
So start an investigation. Are you kidding me right now? Oh
yes,
God.
That's why he wanted to go to CID. So Watt was now not trusting his chain of command at this point.
Yeah.
And with the help and encouragement from another soldier, he bypasses his chain of command and tells mental health exactly what he knows. And this gets things rolling. Finally. So on June 30th, 2006, on June 30th, 2006, the FBI arrested Green in North Carolina and was held without bond and transferred to Louisville, Kentucky. On July 3rd, federal prosecutors formally charged him with raping and murdering a bear and with murdering her parents and younger sister. As he was not a member of the armed forces anymore, he appeared before a civilian court, the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Kentucky. On May 7th, 2009, the jury found him guilty of rape and murder, and on 21 May 2009, Stephen Green was spared the death penalty as the jury could not reach a unanimous agreement on the necessary penalty. As a result, Green received a life sentence without parole at formal sentencing on 4 September 2009. The court remarked that Green could not have been tried by an Iraqi court due to a coalition provisional authority. This is an order providing all coalition forces, U.S. and U.K., full immunity before them. This order was established in 2003 at the invasion of Iraq, and it granted all foreign contractors operating in Iraq immunity from Iraqi legal process. So effectively granting immunity from any kind of suits, civil, criminal, for actions the contractors engaged in within Iraq. As far as for the 4 soldiers involved in the crimes, 3 of them pled guilty in court-martial proceedings. James P. Barker, on November 15, 2006, Specialist Barker pleaded guilty to rape and murder as part of a plea agreement requiring him to give evidence against the other soldiers to avoid the death penalty. He was sentenced to 90 years in prison and must serve 20 years before being considered for parole, following which he would be dishonorably discharged. Barker wept during closing statements and accepted responsibility for the rape and murders, saying the violence he had encountered in Iraq left him angry and mean towards Iraqis. He is currently held in the United States Disciplinary Barracks at Fort Leavenworth, Texas. Paul E. Cortez. On January 22, 2007, Cortez pleaded guilty in a court-martial to rape, conspiracy to rape, and 4 counts of murder as part of a plea deal to avoid the death penalty, and was sentenced to 100 years in prison, followed by a dishonorable discharge. He wept as he apologized for the crimes, saying he could not explain why he took part. He is currently held in United States Disciplinary Barracks at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. He was the one who wanted to go through with it. He kind of initiated it.
Yeah.
So, I think 100 years isn't enough.
No.
Private First Class Jesse Spielman. On August 3rd, 2007, Spielman, 23 at the time, was sentenced by a court-martial to 110 years in prison with the possibility of parole after 10 years, followed by a dishonorable discharge. He was convicted of rape, conspiracy to commit rape, housebreaking with intent to rape, and 4 counts of felony murder. He had earlier pleaded guilty to lesser charges of conspiracy towards obstruction of justice, arson, wrongfully touching a corpse, and drinking. I don't know why these other guys weren't charged with drinking. They're all drunk.
Yeah.
So as of 2009, Spielman was held in the United States Disciplinary Barracks at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. Brian L. Howard, he was the one that was keeping guard at the checkpoint. Howard was sentenced by court-martial under a plea agreement for obstruction of justice and being an accessory after the fact. The court found that his involvement included hearing the others discussing the crime and lying to protect them, but not have involvement in the actual rape or murders. However, Howard served the 20-month sentence, after which he was dishonorably discharged. Anthony W. Uribe. Uribe was initially charged with obstructing the investigation, specifically dereliction of duty and making a false statement. In exchange for his testimony against the other men, the government dropped the charges against him, and he accepted an administrative discharge characterized as other than honorable. So not quite dishonorable, but not honorable discharge.
Okay.
Justin Watt, who is our whistleblower, received a medical discharge. He says that he received death threats after coming forward. However, starting in 2010, he was asked by the U.S. Army Center for the Army Profession and Ethic, also known as CAPE, at West Point, New York, to be interviewed and speak before Army Professions audience about his decision to report the crimes in accordance with his moral obligation to uphold the Army ethics. And he does this a lot. Apparently, he goes and speaks about this experience and what made him become a whistleblower. Because we all know from previous stories that these whistleblowers are always scared to begin with, because they, it's like they're turning on their comrades. They're betraying that brotherhood that they supposedly have.
Yeah.
As for Abir's 2 surviving brothers, they went on to live with relatives, and they were raised by their aunt and their uncles, and have to live with the memory of what they saw and with the holes in their hearts of their missing family members. On February 18th, 2014, Green was found unresponsive, hanging in his prison cell in Arizona in an attempt to commit suicide. He died 2 days later. He was 28. And that is the story. That is the rape of Abir Al-Janabi and the massacre of her and her family.
That's insane.
Awful, right?
Holy shit.
Awful.
Horrible.
And no matter how you feel about war and the country that the U.S. invaded, or whatever country is invading whatever country, this was a child. This was an innocent child that did not deserve this, and her family did not deserve this. And these disgusting animals, what they did to her. And I think we can all agree, Jen, that when someone touches a child in a sexual manner like they did, they fucking deserve to have their dicks smashed.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but yes.
And cut off.
Yeah. I think
and
we should
you don't need that.
Have them castrated.
Yes.
Have them
You don't need that.
castrated.
Yeah.
No.
That's ridiculous.
Back in the 1970s, they like sterilized Native American women. Why can't we just castrate these criminals?
Right. You don't need to use that. You have no point in that using that anymore. You don't need it. There's no need for it. You're not using it for the right reasons. You're disgusting. You don't deserve it.
Yes. I don't know. I'm just so, this story I was reading and I was like, why? You have these, young, impressionable men in this case that came in with hatred towards other races, and you put them in a place of power, in a place where they think they can get away with this thing. And this is what you get.
Yeah.
I'm all for patriotism. I am. Let's be patriotic of where we came from, but respect others from where they came from. Respect. It makes me really mad. That we depend on these people to protect our country. Who is the enemy here? Who is the enemy here?
It's so horrible that they just it just seems like they're so desperate to get people at that time. They're so desperate to get soldiers out there, especially obviously the young ones. You're going to be able to get them out to the places that people don't want to go. Checkpoints, nobody wants to sit out in a checkpoint. No, that doesn't sound fun at all. Of course not. No. But yeah, so you're going to send out the young ones that get out there. But if they already have issues and have already admitted that they want to kill Iraqis, why would you even allow them to be anywhere around that?
That's what I'm saying. Why? It's like this kid who has being called racist because of his racial slurs and his hatred towards the Iraqi people, and then you fucking give him a gun and send him all trigger happy into this territory where he's gonna get away with it. And they would have gotten away with it, Jen, had it not been for his mouth, because he did say I did it, because they would have gotten away with it. There was no evidence saying that this was done by Americans. Yeah. Because they used the AK-47 they took from the family.
Yeah. And no one saw them until they saw the smoke coming from their house.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's so horrible, the things that went through their mind and they thought was okay to do. I don't understand. First of all, they're already they're the young guys, young soldiers being put out into these terrible situations already.
For months and months at a time.
And they don't even have enough experience to even know how to be a leader yet. No. They just are power hungry. And so they think they can do whatever they want because they wear the soldiers, the uniforms and all this stuff. But no, you don't know anything about what you're representing, if that's what your thoughts are, if that's what your actions are. No, it's so terrible I hate that so much when people from the U.S., the United States military, and they go out and they fuck things up and they make us look like a terrible country. Who does that?
We are a terrible country, Jen.
We are, I know. It just makes me so mad because I'm like, how dare you do that? How dare you?
That's what I'm saying.
And to a child.
Yes. That's why I'm like, who is the real enemy here? Why were we in Iraq to begin with? Why did we use 9/11 as an excuse to invade Iraq? I understand that they had, oil, and we wanted the oil and just the regimen. I don't know. I mean, the U.S. went in there trying to make deals and make it a democracy, and it just, just let things be. Let things be. Why can't we just live peacefully in our own country and let things be? We're pissing off everybody left and right. And now, and this isn't the first time it's happened. And it's not the first place it's happened, and it won't be the last time, unfortunately. Like I said, you're going to send these people with already a brainwashing that this other country is bad and we need to get rid of everybody in there, and they're not humans. That's basically what they're telling them. These people are not humans. They're savages. Let's get rid of them. It's okay if you kill them. You're already getting away with drinking and doing drugs while you're at this checkpoint. You know, what else can we get away with?
But who thinks of that? Who thinks of that? You sick person just be like, yeah, let's go rape and murder people. Yeah, that sounds great. And to be googly-eyed over a child, too, you're disgusting. You're sick. You're sick in the head and you shouldn't be out there, let alone have a gun. Come on.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I know.
Oh, that story was so hard. Holy cow.
I'm sorry.
Wow, Veronica. Whew.
I'm sorry. I know.
It's okay.
It was awful.
It happens. You know, it's
the whole world hates us. It's okay. The whole world hates us.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
There are good people out there, okay? There are good people serving the military. Your husband, my husband are amongst those good people, I'd like to think. So I know when you're deployed, things get crazy and you experience new things, different things and you see things that you have never seen in your life and probably never will again after that. Some of these branches of the military tend to send troops for a lot longer than needed, and it's so scary to think that you have, again, young impressionable minds witnessing all these atrocities and horrible acts. They come home with that. It's like, how do you go on about living your life again? There is no way you can go back to being who you were before all of this. And now the people that live in these countries that we are invading and destroying, it's like they live like this. They see this on the daily. It's like, how did they go on? And it just breaks my heart.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it's just one of those like no-win type of situation.
No-win, vicious circle. Circle. Just going around.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. It really is. It sucks. It sucks a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Jen.
All right.
That was heavy.
It was. Well, I'm here to kind of bring you up.
Thank you.
I have a discussion.
Yes.
That after some recent things I thought was kind of important to go over. And I have thoughts and feelings towards this as well. As you know, Veronica, we talked about a little bit before, you know.
Yeah.
So I won't get into like the ranting part of it. I'll just get into my thoughts and feelings along with facts.
Facts.
So I thought I would discuss the ever questioning facts of what you do on a military base when the National Anthem plays.
Do they do this just overseas or is it stateside as well?
Stateside as well.
Okay. So we're all well aware that they play the National Anthem at a certain time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So, I mean, like I said, there's always a lot of confusion about what you do when you're on base and you hear that first bugle call. Yeah. And then the National Anthem plays, you know, typically around 5 o'clock on all military installations, whatever branch you are, it's typically that. So, there are 3 different types of what they want to call bugle calls that happen on military installations, and it is reveille, retreat, and taps. Let's get into that. So, each ceremony is firmly rooted in the military history, and it provides an opportunity to show respect to the U.S. flag, country, and fellow airmen, soldiers, sailors, and Marines from past and present who have served their country. That is the main reason why they play these 3 throughout the day.
Okay.
So, troops learn during basic training and officer training, which is their very first introduction to the military, about saluting when the anthem is played and the flag is raised.
They learn this in basic training?
They learn this in basic training.
Okay.
The very first things.
Very first thing.
Yeah, their very first experiences. So, a bugle call is played to signal the start of the day and the end of the day. This happens across all the bases, but it's not usually all at the set time. Except for retreat, it's typically 5 o'clock. That's usually like the set time that people typically hear that one.
Yeah,
but,
on average.
Yeah, but reveille is anywhere from 6 in the morning to 8 in the morning. It depends on the base itself when they want to play reveille.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to always hear it. It's known on Air Force bases as reveille, which will also be followed by another bugle call called To the Colors, and that's when they raise the flag. And the only time you won't hear that other one, To the Colors, is if they fly the flag 24/7.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, you will hear it too. During reveille, if you are in uniform and you are outside, they must stop and salute the flag up until the song is over and the flag is up. If you're a civilian or you're in civilian clothes, you just place your hand over your heart, just like you would do with the National Anthem.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the day, you're going to hear another bugle call called Retreat, followed by the National Anthem. According to the AFI 2.17.1, this is official, guys. You ready? Quoting,
Yeah.
Outdoors, when the flag is displayed, all present except those in formation should stand at attention facing the flag with their right hand over their heart. Members of the armed forces and veterans who are present, but not in uniform, may render the military salute. So that actually changed a few years ago, maybe in 2008, I think it was, that even if you are active duty and you're in civilian clothes, that you are allowed to salute. So it was like a thing. If you're in civilian clothes, you weren't allowed to salute. But now it's official. You may salute the flag if you want to.
Yeah.
All others should remove their hat with their right hand and hold their headdress at the left shoulder, the hand being over the heart. Individuals in uniform should give the military salute at the first note of the national anthem and maintain that position until the last note. When the flag is not displayed, face toward the music and act in the same manner as if the flag were displayed. So that's military members. That is their general regulations when the flag is up. So to civilians, all civilians should stand and place their right hand over their heart. If you're driving, here's another big one, guys. If you are driving, typically the start of retreat is at 5 p.m., like we've discussed. 1, be aware of what time it is. You know what time you're driving. Be aware of what time it is. If you're on base and you start to hear retreat, pull over. Where it's safe to pull over, pull your car over, put it into park, and all you have to do is sit and wait for everything to play. It's that easy. It's that simple. Pull over to the side. If you want to put your hazard lights on to alert other people, that's totally fine too. Don't drive around somebody because somebody's pulled over to the side of the road during this time. I've had that happen to me before, and it's very frustrating, guys.
Yeah.
I'm not just pulled over for no reason, guys. Okay? 5 o'clock, pay attention. I know sometimes we can't hear it, but 5 o'clock.
Read the room. If other cars are pulled over or
there's
flashing
something
their
going
lights
on.
at you, yeah. Be like,
Yeah.
oh, shit, it's 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Roll down your window.
Yes.
And listen.
Yeah. It happens. I get it. We zone out. We don't realize, we're not paying attention to the time and stuff. We have our music going. We're having a good time. But yeah, if you see other people or you come back and realize it's 5 o'clock, just pull your car over. That's it. All you have to do is stay put until the end of the national anthem. This whole thing of retreat and national anthem is about 3 minutes. It's like 3 minutes long. 3 minutes out of your day. Give it the time. I mean, it's just out of respect. It's more out of respect for the people who are serving and have served the country.
Yeah.
That's just, it's that time of reflection. That's what the biggest thing is. You can reflect on things that happen through your day. Reflect on how grateful you are that here's another day. This is great. Whatever you want to do. It's fine. 3 minutes, guys. So I also learned, since that is like all Air Force related, I've learned from that, looking up other military branches. The Army has the same conducts as the Air Force too, the same with the flag and the songs and everything. But if you are in uniform and the retreat starts to go off and you're driving, you pull your car over, put it in park, and the military member, if you're in uniform, you have to get out of your car and salute. Yeah, they have to actually get out of their car.
Other branches?
This is the Army.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, so I had a friend who told me this the other day, too. She was telling me about how the Army does that as well. And I was like, oh, wow, that's interesting. It's only if you are in uniform. If you're in civilian clothes, you don't have to. It's okay. But in uniform, yes, you will have to get out of your car and salute either the flag or the music. Again, whichever is... If the flag's not visible, then you face the music.
Now, I don't know if you have an answer for this. Is it only on Army installations that the Army has to do this? Or if you're Army, even if you're like on an Air Force base?
I don't know, like, officially, but I feel like if you are Army and you're stationed at an Air Force base...
Yeah.
Obviously, because then you'll be wearing your uniform. I would assume that's something that you probably would still have to abide by.
Right.
As well.
I'm just wondering, it's like if I see one person out of their car and everybody else sitting in their car in uniform, it's going to be like, what are we doing wrong?
Yeah, you might think, well, like, oh, that's strange, but it might be because that's what they're regulated for. And I don't know for sure if that's true or not, but I'm assuming maybe, because if they got caught, you can get in trouble for not following proper regulations. So the U.S. Navy regulations states the same regulations as we've gone over as well. And then Marine Corps, again, same because they follow Navy regulations. And the only difference with the branches is just the fact of the times. And that goes by every base too. It's just the times that they do the morning. Taps, I didn't go into taps, but that's usually at the end of the night, between 8 and 9 o'clock, they'll play taps. And that
telling you to go to bed.
Also signifies, yes, quiet time and everything too. So that's also very important, which is odd because they don't play it out here.
Maybe you're already asleep by the time they play it.
I am not, usually.
Don't lie.
Sometimes.
Don't lie.
Only when Dave's gone, I actually get to go to bed early, so... But, so taps is another one. I don't really know any regulations with that, just the fact that it's just signaling quiet time. It's also used at the funerals and all that, too, so...
Oh, yes.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
So, also, the thing that spurred this was a Facebook post of an incident that happened, and, so if anyone out here is listening and they know what I'm talking about, you probably know where I am, but...
I love it. Tell us, Jen. Tell us. Tell us. Your gossip!
Okay, so there was a post made by a spouse who was looking for, I don't know, reassurance in the fact that she was right, even though she wasn't right. She went about it all wrong. So she states that her and her husband were at the commissary, they were loading groceries into their car, and retreat, and then the National Anthem went off. And they continued to load groceries into their car and didn't stop or anything. She's a spouse, her husband is active duty. Now, after this happened, a Marine came up to her, and she explains it as she got yelled at by him. I feel like that was an over-dramatization. But, to each their own. So basically, she got called out for what she did. Now, I'm not saying that what she did, oh yeah, you should have known. No, I understand if you're a new spouse, you probably don't know the regulations with the flag and the national anthem and all that and being on a military base. And that's fine. I get it. There were times I had no idea what you're supposed to do. When you hear this music, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Do I go? Do I stop? What happens here? But her husband, the military member,
he knows
what we discussed at the beginning, that they learn at basic training.
Yes.
He should have known, and he should have told her. He should have stopped, first of all, and then he should have told her, hey, yeah, you need to stop, and you have to face the music, and
literally
of your heart. Face the music.
Literally.
Yeah, so she was getting all this kind of grief Well, I mean, it's not like a whole lot of grief, but it was just everyone explaining, like, we understand it's not your fault. Your husband should have known.
Right.
And that's what the whole explanation was. It was like, it's okay. Like, it's fine that you didn't know, but your husband should have known. He should have told you.
Yeah.
But no, she did not want to face the music of what she did. She wanted sympathy from everyone, and it just didn't come.
Because she was educated on something that she didn't know.
Yeah. And it wasn't the education she wanted.
Oh, because it wasn't delivered on a silver platter to her, and then she, you know, patted on the back and burped like a good baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She was not, she was I understand maybe you were embarrassed and all that too, but to go onto Facebook and rant about how you were yelled at by a
you
military member.
You were embarrassing yourself even more by doing that.
Yes. Like, because nobody is going to respond the way you thought they were going to at all. And then, Veronica, she made another post again.
Of course.
Still trying to
find her people.
Still trying to defend her side. Oh my goodness. Like, she was still not trying, she was not taking any advice, and she was still trying to defend what she did.
Yeah.
And how terrible it was that she was yelled at and mistreated, and who knows what else. I don't even remember, but my goodness.
Aside from the fact that you were embarrassed by this other service member telling you what you were doing wrong, what is your justification for not doing it? Is basically what everybody wanted to know. But she didn't have an answer. She wanted to focus on the fact that her feelings were hurt.
Yeah.
Because she got, according to her, yelled at in a parking lot. So it should have been like, I wasn't aware that I had to do this, but now I know. I am educated, and now I know. And we can all move forward and live a better life.
Yeah.
See how that worked out?
You could have just kept it to yourself and talked to your friends about it, and you didn't have to put it on a public page for all the spouses to see. I don't know.
They have to.
Facebook is not, I mean, I love it. It's entertaining, and I'm grateful for it, because then it made me think, oh, well, here's another military topic I can get into.
I know.
But come on, people. Like,
it's just Facebook is a toilet bowl of colorful turds that you want to pick out and be like, what is this one? What's happening here? And I'm here for it. It is a shit show.
Too. I love it. I know. It's so terrible because I'm like, ew, it's so trashy, but I don't participate in these.
No,
I just like to read them. And I love reading the comments. And when I saw there was when I went to look at it, there's like 58 comments. I was like, oh shit, something's happening here. I can't wait to read it.
Yeah.
And here you are all. Now you're all informed.
And I hate to say it, but it's usually a spouse.
Yeah.
It's usually a spouse that gets dumped on. That has the rant for whatever reason, for whatever issue, and then they get dumped on, and then they get called a dependapotamus, and just the dependapotamus, it just keeps going, and it's fucking hilarious. I'm not gonna lie, it's hilarious. It's like, you're defending yourself, I understand, but you put yourself in this position, and you're trying to justify your stupid mentality right now.
Mm-hmm. And that's what happened. She did it twice. Yeah. Twice. In a matter of 20 minutes or so. She did it twice because the first one, comments were turned off. Second one, they were not. So everyone still. And then everyone kept laying on her like, I understand you are not getting the answers that you wanted, but you're not going to get the answer that you wanted because you were in the wrong.
You were in the wrong.
But your husband should have known. It's not your fault, but your husband should have known.
Yes.
And that's what everyone kept telling her. Like, I understand it's not your fault, but she didn't care. She just wanted to keep oh man.
Yeah.
It was very entertaining that night. I was laughing in my bed as I was reading this.
Yeah.
That's when you go, Dependa say what?
For reals. Yeah. We had an incident here as well that happened sort of like that, and it was a lot of the post was body shaming a person for something they had done that had, like, the body shaming had nothing to do with the issue at hand, but that's the defense she took, was body shaming. And I thought, how ugly are you to do this? I don't mean like physically ugly. I mean just like your personality right now. Like, your true colors are showing, and you're trying to justify why you are body shaming this person, and nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares.
No. It's because they don't have any other defense to use. They're angry, and they just need to hurt people.
That's what
Go
it is.
heal yourself. Come on now.
Go heal yourself first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heal yourself first before you hurt others.
Yeah. There was one, maybe it was Kai that had posted the reel. It was one of the reels, and it's so true because and it said, hurt people.
Yeah.
And it's true. I mean, yes, especially when you're angry. Yes, you want to hurt people. And then he goes, healed people heal people. And I said, yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Because hurt people want to drag other people down to their misery in order to have some sort of advantage over them and feel better about gratification. Themselves. Yes.
No, they still feel bad about themselves even after that. So
guess what? You have now surrounded yourself with a bunch of hate. And you're just digging your hole bigger. And lower.
Huge.
Instead of climbing out of, huge gaping hole. Instead of climbing out of this hole to find something better. Find a light at the end of the tunnel in the hole that you dug in.
Here we are for your inspirational quotes to put on your wall, guys, okay?
Yeah. We'll tell you if you were in the wrong. We will tell you and why you were in the wrong. Yeah. I mean, we've had moments like that too, Jen. The only difference is that I don't blast it all over social media for people to judge me.
Play victim over it.
No. I mean, I play victim at home with myself. Jokes on you. I talk more shit about myself than I need other people telling me.
Exactly. That's why your words don't affect me. I am
way more
people mean on myself.
Stones.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
Oh, it's hilarious. So
if you had any questions on what you're supposed to do during Reveille, Retreat, and the National Anthem, there you are. Stop your car. Pull over. Don't be that person.
Also, don't be that person that is like outside already and then runs back inside the building.
Don't do that.
Unless it's raining. Then I forgive you. Because yes, you will have to stand in the rain for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
If you don't have an umbrella. I forgive you.
I understand if you're inside and you check the time and you start to hear the music and you were about to step outside, but you're not actually opened the door yet. Sure. Stay in. I get it.
It doesn't even matter because they're still going to have to wait those 3 minutes inside or outside.
Exactly.
Might as well go outside and, listen to some cool jams.
Yeah. It's fine.
My son, I'm sure you noticed it when we would go to the movies because they play the national anthem at the movies on days as well. Before the movie starts, you have to put down your popcorn and do the same thing. Place your right hand over your heart. My son jams out to the national anthem like he's at the club, and I had to tell him, stop dancing, stop singing along, stop humming. I get that you like the song. It's like, let's be a little bit more respectful. So he's gotten a lot better. And now my daughter turns around and she tries to whisper things to me as it's happening. I'm like, stop it, shh, 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 shh. So that's just what happens when you have children.
Yes.
But yes, at the movie theater, they do play it, and you do put down your fucking popcorn and your 64-ounce Coke and just pay your respects, people. Come on. And
just, be prepared.
Also, there's no movies because COVID.
Yeah. If your base theater is actually open, then you can, go there and watch a movie. But yeah, be prepared. You have to stand up for that national anthem before your movie starts to. So it's fine. You know what? It's, like I said, you're just paying respects to people who are serving, who have served, who have sacrificed their life for the military in the country. Yeah. So just understand it in that way too. I'm not going to get into the political shit. You know what? Let's just not. It's
fuck your politics.
It's just
fuck them all. Just fuck all your politics. Fuck politics, Jen.
Yeah, seriously. I don't give a shit.
I
don't give a shit.
Yeah. I don't care about your political views. Fuck your political views.
I don't care. If that's what you want, it's fine. I don't care. Like who you like. It's fine. Doesn't
I'm
make you
just
a
here
good or bad
for
person.
The benefits.
Because we're here, we're going to vote for Veronica in 2024, so it doesn't matter.
Hell yeah. Dependasplaining 2024. I will tell you what you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
And I won't give any shits about how you feel. If I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Get new feelings, yeah. Sorry that your feelings got hurt, but
sorry that you got offended over the truth I just snapped in your face.
So is life.
So is life.
Get over
it. You know what so is life right now? These jets flying overhead.
I can hear them sometimes.
Yeah.
Through the thing, yeah.
I can see the pilot's face when they fly over our house.
I can tell sometimes re-listening to, editing, I can tell that you probably had like a first-hand view of the pilot just going right by your window, because it's like the wave on the screen is just like massive when the jet goes by.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't know what they've been doing like all week, but they've just we've seen the one with the satellite, the Air Force craft with the big circle on the top that looks like it has an umbrella that's too small for its body. I'm body shaming the airplane people.
Perfect description.
No, it's just kind of like, I think it must be like a touch and go, because we saw it go by quite a few times the other day while we were at the beach. But on certain nights of the week, we see the rotator coming in, and it's exciting, and it's like, welcome to beep, welcome. So we just like wave at it if we're out on the beach or like on the balcony. But yeah, they've just been really loud, and I've been thinking about writing to Congress and telling them that it needs to stop.
You should. You should. How dare they?
President. Your future president.
You can tell them they're not allowed to fly. I'm recording between these hours. You are not allowed to fly your jets.
Also,
Don't even think about it.
Yeah. At night, too. There's nighttime flying sometimes, and they're just so loud. They like wake us up.
How dare they?
Yeah.
How dare they?
I am a mother. I am a light sleeper, and that shit wakes me up. No, honestly, it doesn't even bother me as much. It doesn't bother me. Like, I'm like, oh, I got woken up. But it's not something that like startles me and keeps me awake. I know what it is. I know where it's coming from. And then I fall back asleep. And it's kind of comforting sometimes. Like, I'm going to miss it one day.
Sometimes it's like it's a good way to like lull you back to sleep when they're not in your face.
Yeah. Okay. Great, Jen. Great.
Well, that was a fun episode today.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
Your story was... Whew.
Yeah, I know it was harsh. Sorry.
Yeah. It's okay. It's... you don't hear... it was so long ago now. Oh, God. I know. So old. But I feel like 2006, so long ago now when you think about it here.
15 years ago.
Yeah. And so it's just... I didn't hear about that stuff, or, I didn't bother to watch news back then. I was just, in high school, so...
Oh, my God.
So hearing about that, it's just... I know. I was in high school. I know.
I was a married woman in 2006. Actually, when that happened, I was planning my wedding to Kyle, of course. So, yeah, no, it's just what the media puts it out, and we're always meant to look, the U.S. is meant to look like heroes, but like, come on, like, what history has shown us, it's very cherry picking of what we have learned. So who knows what's happening. So my nephew joined the Navy. I'm so proud of him. He just left the other day for what does the Navy call it? Basic training, boot camp, lots of exercise camp.
Yeah.
Training.
Naval boot camp type of
Naval
thing.
Boot camp,
yeah.
So
I don't know what their name is, but yeah.
I don't know either. Somebody tell us. I'm too busy to Google right now.
All my devices are taken up. I can't Google.
All of them. Yeah, I can't Google. No, but yeah, I'm so proud of him. He's really young, and he didn't know what to do kind of with his life. And after COVID, he was like, I'm going to join the Navy. And he's off. And yeah, we'll see what he ends up doing. And I was like, hey, come join me. Like, that'd be awesome. Be family together, even if it's two different branches. And what are the odds of that? Crazier things have happened, right?
Yes, it's true.
It's true. Yeah. So it's a small military world, And maybe we will run into him one day. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
No, I said I just wanted to give him a shout out and tell him we're proud of him, and you'll do great.
Oh, yeah. It is small military world. So, guys, when you make Facebook posts, just remember that we might meet you, might meet up with you at some point.
Yeah, that shit gets around, and I'm judging you from behind the screen, and I will judge you to your face.
It's like an STD. It's an STD that shit goes around. So
yeah,
be careful who you spread your lips to. Okay?
Yeah, yeah. And ointment will not cover up the fact that you pissed off an entire society of keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what? It's okay because it keeps me entertained and I have something to talk about. So thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service. Continue your stupidity. I'm here for it.
I'm here for
your stupidity.
This is our podcast. You keep our podcast alive because now we can correct you.
Yeah.
On what you're doing
keep
wrong.
Me young. You keep me with all this laughter.
Oh, goodness.
Or you're making me old with all this laughter, and now I'm getting all these wrinkles around my eyes.
Yeah. Let's go blast it on Facebook. How dare you say these things that I have to laugh at? Now I have wrinkles. It's your fault.
Yeah. Yes.
How dare you?
Yeah. You are consuming my time with your stupidity, and I could have been doing something else more productive than sit here and read your dumb rant and all these people's comments and all the memes that followed and all the gifs that followed, and it's just going to continue into a vicious circle, and I'm here still reading everything when I could have folded an entire basket of laundry.
Yes.
That's gonna be my rant. Could you please stop posting stupid shit so I don't have to read them all because it's very entertaining?
Stop being so entertaining because you're really making my productivity go down. Okay.
I know. Yeah. I can't live my best Dependa life when you're being a Dependa on Facebook. Living your worst Dependa life and putting it out for everyone to see. Yes. But I thank you for your service.
I appreciate it though. Thank you.
Yeah. Jen, it's lunchtime.
Yes. I need to go run my errands.
Ooh, yeah.
Fun
Good
stuff.
luck with that. Don't be too angry at people.
I'll just keep it to myself. It's okay.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can always rant to me.
I probably will if anything happens. I shout to myself in the car like everyone does. You know, when people do stupid shit driving, you're like, why? Yeah. Use a turn signal, fucker.
Can we, PSA, we know what a turn signal is, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all know how it works. Then fucking use it. Use it ahead of time. Don't use it as you're turning already. You have now wasted my time. Again. Wasting my time. Just quit wasting my time, everybody.
Again. Seriously, it all comes back to wasting time. Stop doing it. Stop making me waste my own time.
Use your turn signal.
Please.
Quit being an asshole and use your turn signal.
Yeah.
Or I will
it would be nice.
Blast you on Facebook for not using your turn signal.
Those are things that I do see on the spouses pages too, is about the way people drive too. So those are entertaining. Those are fun. But there is only one post that I would love to make here about, and it's a rant. I won't do it, but I want to.
Say it right
Nobody knows how to fucking use the roundabout, and it pisses me off.
Oh my god, I know, right?
They can't signal right. Nobody knows when to exit. You don't signal when you exit. I'm sitting here waiting, and all of a sudden you just decide to turn, and I could have gone fucking 2 minutes before that, but no.
Yes.
You don't want to use your fucking turn signal on the roundabout. Okay,
please,
I'm done.
PSA. If you're in a roundabout, stay with the flow of traffic, enter carefully, and then where you're going to exit the roundabout, turn on your goddamn signal.
Please.
Let others know, because the person waiting to get in could have gone in the time that you were signaling, but you didn't signal, so now you're confusing everybody, and now we're all wasting time, and now there's a huge line behind this one person that was trying to get in the roundabout, and it's your fault. It's your fault that they're now
and you're a shitty person.
Yes.
Way to go.
Yeah. Go on YouTube. Learn how to use a roundabout. They really are very effective.
Yeah, it's not that hard. It's
No.
not that hard. Our roundabout is tiny. It is not that hard. It is a 1-lane roundabout. It is not that hard. It's 4 exits. Use a signal before you get to that exit. That's all I'm asking. That's it. That's all I'm asking. Please, God. Please.
Just God doesn't have a Facebook, Jen.
Okay. That's it. That's
Okay.
all I have.
Great. This was a very productive, ranty podcast episode. Don't forget to rate and subscribe and email us at dependasplaining@gmail.com or look for us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And maybe we should do a TikTok, Dependasplaining TikTok.
Maybe.
On there.
With our rants and complaints.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see how many people hate on us. And be like, I'm going to justify my stupidity right now. Watch me.
How many Dependa Facebook pages will we be on?
All of them.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. That's the goal in life. True story. Great. Send us off, Jen.
All right. Yes. Please go rate and subscribe 5 stars because we love you guys and you love us. Share with all your friends, all your family, neighbors, strangers, everyone. Just
with your mouth.
Plug us out there. Mm-hmm.
Plug us with
your
mouth.
lips. Yes. Throw it out there. And please use the roundabouts correctly. Signal. Use your fucking turn signal.
Yeah.
Because we're about to exit this roundabout, and here's my signal. Click, 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 click. Here we go.
Blink, blink, blink.
Because remember, in your roundabout of life, wherever you go,
use your mouth.
There you are. Veronica does this to me every
Use your mouth.